Hey guys, it's Jen, and we're going to do another palette knife painting. And just give me a second to get this set up. And let's see if I can get on to the place where I need to go. I'm trying to get it to where I can have this going on the Facebook page and YouTube. Okay. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, let me turn this up. I don't always try to do multiple streamings, but I think it's going to work today, so we're going to try it. Okay, I hope that you guys can see my stuff. So where we left off before in the past couple videos was the background painting. So you had leftover paint, and then we did the background painting with the leftover paint. Now it's been a few days, and I let it dry. So it was like a mixture of all different colors, whatever we had in our last painting. And I had my palette knife here. I don't know what I did with it. So I'm going to go through all the steps with you with this. I thought I would make like a springy kind of abstract llama painting or alpaca painting. Because I just kind of felt like I wanted one, and maybe we'll add some flowers on his head and his or her head up here. I had lightly sketched kind of like a face already on it. So where I get my inspiration is all over the place. I kind of look for free pictures. There's a site called Pixabay. You just Google free, royalty-free pictures you could use, and I kind of look through those. I look through other people's stuff, and I don't copy them, but I do use important things in their pictures. So I combine them all together to kind of make my own. So that's what I kind of suggest. Look around or take your own photos. I look at calendars too that are out of date, and I kind of use those as a reference. More like a guide, and that's kind of what I would suggest if you see a painting or a picture that you like. Either use the royalty-free ones or pay for it. Or you Frankenstein them is what I call with mine. I just kind of got inspiration from different things, and I just kind of did a sketch. I saw somebody that did a llama or an alpaca, and then they kind of added a couple things to it, like what I'm going to do. And I just noticed that I drew his nose a little crooked here. So I'm just going to fix that. But we're just going to do palette knife drawing. Now it's going to be really kind of abstracty and fun. So yeah, so go ahead and sketch. Now I suggest that if you want to try this, to watch me first and then see if you like it, because it may not turn out. I'm just going to start to finish with you guys. I'm not going to edit it unless it's really bad, then I'll take it down. But just go ahead and play with it. This is just a board canvas that I had laying around. I think I got it on sale somewhere. I pick them up if I go out and I see something for sale in, or on clearance in the dollar store and Joann's or Michael's. I go ahead and pick them up. And sometimes what I do too is I'll show you guys later what I'm working on. It's too big, and I got the camera set up, so I don't want to move it around too much. But so I'm just taking some, what color? This is called Papaya and Arteza. So again, if you look on some of my videos, I had posted some links to the stuff that I'm using in my Amazon store. So this is actually a link that's already in there. I believe it's under the rooster painting, but I'm not sure. These Arteza, these are outdoor paints, and I really like them for palette knife painting because they're so thick. Now I just use cardboard. I'm going to pick up my palette and show you how thick this paint is. Look at that. I mean, it's not even liquidy. See, I can even dump it and it won't fall. So for palette knife painting, when you are kind of getting to the point where you want to do a little bit more experimentation, or you're ready to do a painting, I would go to these Arteza outdoor paints. They are nice paints to do your palette knife with, and they are not as pricey as the other heavy body paints are. So that's a good deal. The other thing I want to tell you about is the palette knives themselves. Now, I got this set. This one was given to me. I don't know where they got this one, but this I got off of either at Michael's or off Amazon, and I think the whole set was like $10 or $15 for metal and wood ones. Now, I suggest you start with the plastic ones, and you don't even need to run out right away. You could try it with like a credit card or even your paintbrush. You can do the same kind of strokes, but if you really want that abstract-y kind of look, this is what you should probably try. Now, the thing I really like about these outdoor Arteza paints is that you can use these on a birdhouse, your porch leaners. You can use them on that, and it has everything that you need for outdoor paints. You know, so you don't necessarily have to put a sealant over it. I would, but it's made for outdoor use. So that's another thing that's good about it. So what I did was I poured 3 colors, one kind of a peachy color, a brown, and a white on there, because my alpaca is those colors. That's what I'm going for. You necessarily don't have to do that. You can do whites and blues and grays. I'm just going to do this, and if you want to come back and highlight them, you can. And what I like to do, which kind of annoys people sometimes, and I'm truly sorry, is I pick my painting up while I'm working on it. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to keep looking at my screen, and hopefully you'll get in there. But what I suggest for you guys is to get that multimedia pad, try it in there first, and then get a board. My friend Shelly, she told me about Lowe's sometimes has these sales on boards. Just pick them up and get them for relatively, oops, I just kicked my whole setup. Sorry about that. Relatively inexpensive. And anyway, that's a good place to start. So I'm picking up a little bit of my white, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of my brown and kind of mixing it on my cardboard. Again, this is like a Amazon box cardboard. So, and if you don't like it, you can go back and change it. But I'm just going to show you kind of going through my process of thinking here of what I wanted to do with my alpaca. And again, if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. It's fine. What the good thing about this is that you can paint over it. You know what I mean? Like paint over it. I noticed that I don't have a whole lot of room on my little table here to show you guys everything I'm doing, and I'm sorry about that. So hopefully you can see it. So if you can't, I have to move it. But I'm just dipping alternatively into my white and browns here. And I'm pulling it down. I'm trying to stay in the line, but you don't have to. So again, it's just a matter of kind of seeing what you want first. I kind of like to start at one end, like this ear. I'll start at the ear, and I'll just do the outline, and then I'll go to the other ear, and I'll do the outline. So I think I need to do is move my, I need to move my paints over so you guys can see it, and then that way, hopefully I won't dump them on the floor. I've done that before. I've dumped my paints on the floor because I really wanted you guys to see what I was doing, and I completely stick my stuff on the floor. It falls. It's okay. So this alpaca is looking head on. I don't know if you can kind of see the eyes I got in there. But he's looking head on, and or she, or whatever it is. So I'm just taking the tip, and I'm just following along my sketches that I have here. And the inside of my ears and the outside of my ears are a little dark. But remember, we're not doing anything that's realism. We're going to do funky. Okay, we're going to do abstract. So just the fact that it looks kind of like ears is fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna get just in my brown. Oops. See, yeah, it's almost dropped it on the floor. And I'm gonna start filling in the kind of the inside of that ear. Okay. And what I do need to do, and I realize I need to do, is get some black. So let me do this on the other side. So what you do with one ear, you want to do with the other ear. And alpacas, I don't know if you know this, but alpacas need to be sheared at least once a year. I'm sorry, once a year they need to be sheared, sometimes twice a year. It just depends on how you're harvesting their wool and what you're using it for. But most of the time it's once a year. And their first wool, the babies are called crias. And their first wool is the best, is the absolute best of the best. And that wool is so sought after, and it's so expensive if you wanted to buy it. I mean, I would love to have an alpaca. I mean, of course, I'd like to have a miniature donkey and a miniature cow, and a miniature horse. You name it, I'd love to have it. But for my wool projects, it is so soft. It doesn't felt very well. It does not felt, so you have to mix it with something if you want to felt. But if you want to make something with it, like spin it and make it into wool, it's so soft. So I don't know how many of you have actually gone to like the fair and bought some alpaca slippers or anything like that. You know that those are just like, you know, really items that you really want to get, you know, in your arsenal for warmth and stuff and softness. And anyway, so when you're getting these colors down, you can make them your own. I'm just kind of getting, now I'm switching to another black. This is a cheap kind of craft acrylic paint, which is fine. It flows really well, and it, you know, don't worry about, you know, making texture. If you're to the point where you're kind of advancing and you want texture, let me show you oh, I put my product away, I think. I did, I packed it. Okay, so it's like a gel medium. Liquitex makes it. It's kind of like this. It's like a matte fluid medium, but it also just makes your paint thicker, and it doesn't alter the color at all. And if you're to that point, that's okay. You can mix it up and get that extra texture, which is really cool. But these outdoor paints through Arteza is already thick, and they are very nice to work with when you are doing your paintings and stuff. And see how nicely they mix. I mean, this is a board, so if you are just starting off with your palette knife adventures, and you have been using your mixed media pad, right? You're going to notice a big difference when you switch to an actual board, because it's going to flow a lot differently, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And that spread down like this, I mean, it's a really nice medium to use. I really enjoy using this. Okay, so those ears. So I'm going to go back with my black and watch what I do with this palette knife. So I'm just going to scrape a little bit to make those ear ridges kind of stand out. Now remember, I just want to be able to look at this from a distance and say those are ears. Okay, so we're not doing perfection. The other thing I noticed in my classes, and I don't think I was clear enough with some of the students, after I taught the class, I was like, why are they doing that? And I just realized that I didn't teach them. Okay, I didn't teach them how to hold their knife. So when you're holding your knife, I noticed a lot of them were doing this. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to hold it way loose. You want to be way back here when you do it, way back here, because you want it loose and free flowing, and you don't want to be restricted by, you know, you don't want to go in there and really push down. And I noticed that a lot of people are doing that when they're doing their palette knife work. And I just was like, what? What are you guys doing? It's kind of my fault. I didn't teach you, you know, bad teacher. But anyway, so the ears, there's the ears basically. Now, if you want to go in and fix them and put some texture in there, you can definitely take a knife. You can scrape it and, you know, scrape that off. You see how that works too? You can scrape that off and make those ridges. See that? Okay, I don't know if you can see that because the the glare is so much. I mean, even for me, it's the glare is a lot. So I mean, move my light down a little bit. Just don't fall. This thing falls. I mean, I have, that's even worse, I think. Let me turn it away a little. What's really glary. Okay, so we have the ears done on this one. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go through, and it's gonna be just what it is. Now that this is the fun part with this hair. Now I may do the hair last. I'm thinking about maybe doing the hair last, because I want the hair, she's got a top knot on here that's so fluffy, and I want to really go over and extend that into the other things. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get your black and a little bit of brown, and let's just go for the eyes. So all we're going to do is make the eyes, and you could do this with another brush, which I may do with a just a regular, no, not even that. I'll just use a round brush, I think. So you don't really need to always use a palette knife. You can go bump back and forth too. There's my paper. Should always have a napkin or something in your hand when you're painting, just because. And I don't, but I should. All right, so I just am alternatively dipping my brush into black and brown, and I'm making the eye right here. And so Alpaca's eyes are gigantic for their head, just so you know. You look at them, they are big, they're really doughy, and they're so cute. You just want to go kiss them. So that's what we're going to make. Some like cows have big doughy eyes too, and so you want to make them just like that, like you see, big doughy eyes. You can definitely do this painting with this little pen, this little detail brush if you want, but since it's going to be more of an abstract kind of look, I highly suggest that you do it with the palette knife. I mean, start out with your little pointer brush here to do the eyes. I kind of got her a little wonky, don't I? I got her eyes a little wonky, but that's okay. Okay. So we got the eyes, and now I'm going to go down and start working on the face. The last thing I'm going to do is the funky hair and the flowers. So the next thing you want to do is rinse off your brush. Let me put this away so I don't knock it over. I have a big, I'm so clumsy. I just knock stuff over all the time. So if you're like that too, I hear you. I'm super clumsy. If you've ever taken a class with me, you know that's true, right? Knock so many things over, it's not even funny. So I went ahead and I got some brown, and I mixed it with a little bit of black and a touch of white, and I made this kind of gray, dark gray color. And my paint's already drying. It's so thick it's drying. So I'm going to use my gray color to go in, and I'm just going to cut a line here and then go down. Cut a line and go down. And here too, I'm going to cut a line and just kind of swipe down. Okay. And remember, when you're doing this, you don't need to be precise. Don't get hard on yourself. I get hard on myself too, but don't get hard on yourself if you do a big boo-boo, you know, or you think's a big boo-boo. Because when you're doing palette knife painting, you just want to kind of maybe think it's what it is. You know, maybe it is and maybe it isn't. From up close, it's going to look like a bunch of goo. From far away, it'll look like something. So you know, that's just the way it is. And if you want to make it darker, you just keep adding you add some more paint. Turn the side of your brush down. No, I'm not pushing hard enough on that. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There, I need to turn it. I'm so left-handed, I move my palette knife into little spaces that it's not supposed to move. So I'm adding some black. So I don't know if you guys were on my other site, but if you are on my other craft site, we're starting to do springy kind of garden stuff. So I'm taking my knife and I'm just pulling it down here into the chin, her chin or his chin or whatever it is. So I wonder if any of you guys are starting to plant your gardens or anything like that. I'm tempted, but I know here it's supposed to be cold again, which I was like, no, I don't want it to be cold, but that's what it is, you know. So I'm just scraping some of that paint away, and I'm making it a little, like he's got little chin down there, and he's kind of got his lips sealed. Hopefully he's not thinking about spitting on me, right? So I'm just adding white, and I'm gonna start cutting. I think I know Facebook does not like me to put a video on here that's long, but they'll let me do a live that's long. Isn't that weird how they just have all those weird little things that they like and don't like and won't let you do? I guess if you have a giant following, if you have several thousand people on your site watching you, then they let you do more things. But I am not there. I am not there. I guess I have to get a lot better to be there, but it is what it is. Don't worry about that right now. Goofing up my little chin. I just, I don't think I put enough white down there because it's not mixing very well, the white. So I'm alternately, gosh, I can't even speak, pulling my white, my black, and my brown. So I'm just kind of cutting. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just cutting because they have little cute, tiny whiskers on their chins that are soft on their little chins. So I'm just kind of putting texture in there, like he's got some little hairs coming down right there. So I want to make sure I capture that fluffiness, if you know what I mean. Okay, so his little area on his muzzle is the same, and his area right here is the same. So we're just going to keep alternating those colors, and I will have to bow out and get some more. Looks like I may have to get some more white and black, because I think I've used them. Yeah, I've used almost all of it up. And I'm trying to so you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So they do have a little dark spots kind of under their noses right here. And it kind of goes, the hair kind of goes out. And it gets lighter as it goes out, but underneath the nose here, they have like really dark little hairs coming out like that. And here's where I usually say don't mix your colors too much because you'll get mud, but here's kind of where you want that mud color, because that's kind of their colors on their muzzles. At least this one that I'm drawing, it has like a little bit of a mud color on their muzzle. My goal was to do this pretty quickly, so it wouldn't take forever. But again, I don't want to go so fast that it's like, what did I do? So here's what I suggest. You guys watch me first. Like I usually suggest, you guys watch me first and then do it later after you watch me. And please try it. I mean, don't be shy. Try it. Remember, you know, don't copy people, you know, directly. Make sure you change it a little bit so it's not recognizable, because I don't want you guys to get in trouble for copyright kind of stuff. But get your inspiration, you know, look around, like I said, there's free sites that you can get. I'm going to change that a little. So again, I'm going to come through and cut that, and I'm probably going to put some more white in there because their muzzles are usually a little bit, got the little white in there, a little more white. Yeah, I'm completely out of white over there. I don't want to too much. So you don't really need to rinse off your brush. I noticed a lot of my students were sticking my palette knives in water, and you don't need to do that. You just need to wash it, wipe it off with a napkin or like an old sock or something that you have. Oh boy, my white is just about done. All right, let me put this upside down and get some more white. I just had white. Oh, there it is. So one of the things when you start painting, you'll notice that you run out of really quick, is white and black. And I really got to get a ton of white and black on these people's palettes. And when you do it, you'll understand you need a lot of white and a lot of black. So if you're going to go buy paint, and let's say you're going to do, something to get, or you're starting to paint a lot more, know that you should probably go get some more white. So I'm just taking my white, and I'm just going to cut like this. I'm just cutting a little bit, like chopping it with a knife. The end of my knife turns sideways, just because I want a little highlight here on my muzzle coming in there. Because when you look at it from a distance, it's going to show up a lot more. So if you have white against that dark background, especially if it's starting to dry a little bit, it will really start to pop that it looks like hair. Okay, so that's what you want to go for here, is kind of make it look like there's soft little hairs coming out there that you want to kiss. And if you want to make it, softer or bigger, it doesn't really matter. Just kind of get that highlight in there. So there's one side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to try to get that color. Now, if it ends up to where the color's a little bit different, that's okay, because we can go back. Oh, there's a booger on there. Pink booger. We can go back and highlight it or put, darker lines on there to make it match. It's okay. Don't worry about that. And if you're pushing so hard that you're getting a cramp in your hand, which I noticed a lot of them do, especially when you're first starting out, it's hard not to, because you're not sure what to do and how to do it. Try to stop and relax your hand a lot. Okay? It shouldn't be like that. You should, relax, have fun. And again, my phone rings every time I try to do this. Sorry about that. I have to get back with her. Okay. So I'm just pulling a little bit over. Okay. I hope you guys try this. This is a more advanced project. I've done the flowers with you guys. I did the chapel. I did several other projects with you guys, and a couple of my in-person class wanted to do something a little bit harder. And so this is a definitely one that you need to, maybe you don't start with this one, but you could if you wanted to. I mean, you could start with this, no problem, if you just follow the steps, you know. Follow the steps. Make it your own, but follow the steps. That's what I recommend. And do you see how that white really comes in? And I need to turn the other way too to do that, the other side. It really does make a difference when you do your background and then you come back and cut that white in or black in or whatever it is you're going to use, because it really gives it that extra little pop. Makes you believe that there's hair there. Okay. And a lot of times when I'm teaching class, I will actually paint with you during the in-person classes, and I'll paint upside down. So sometimes my paintings are a little funky because I'm trying to show you a technique while I'm painting, and I'll paint upside down. And sometimes I forget that I'm painting upside down. So forgive me, since my brain works both ways, and sometimes it just keeps on going. So if it looks funky, that's just the way I am sometimes. My brain knows what it wants, but me explaining it's kind of hard. I'm showing it to you is much easier to me than actually doing it sometimes. All right, so I'm going to pull some gray, and I really want to lighten up my black. And black, you don't need much. You just need a tiny bit, really, to get into that. And then we have that same color. And I don't like it when it piles up on top of my palette knife. I hate it when it does that because it just kind of irritates me. It's like, why are you going on top of my palette knife? I didn't put you there. So I'm just pushing it and pulling it around here. Kind of playing with it a little bit. And making it like a gray color, kind of around in a circle here. Kind of going along with the face, because the face comes up here. And the eyes go this way. See how it does that? So kind of both sides, and I kind of just am playing. You can kind of see what I'm doing back and forth on that. And around the eye. So the fur around the eye is a little bit darker than it is on the rest of the face. So I'm going to wash this up, just kind of push it around here, and then I'm going to use a little bit of lighter kind of colors to make it kind of pop a little bit more. I'm not using very much paint, as you can see. I'm just taking what was left on my knife and kind of forming the face. And I'm just going to pull a little bit of white up with a little bit of brown, and I'm going to finish this nose off just a little bit here. So I'm just pulling it to the side, and I'm going to start pulling it down. Okay, because I want to make a definite kind of barrier. You know where it starts and where it ends. If that makes any sense. So there's like, it doesn't all like blend together, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't all go together and look like a big blob. Which I don't want it to be a blob. I want you guys to be able to tell what I'm doing. You know. So I'm putting a lot of white in here. So I want to make sure it sticks out. It doesn't blend too much. So I'm going to turn this a little bit. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's a beautiful day outside where we are. But it's not going to last. It's going to be... They said there might even be snow coming again. It's almost 70 degrees out here. And I thought I'd come out and paint while it was still pretty nice. The other thing I was going to try, and I haven't yet, was Crackle Medium. I haven't used that in years, and I'm thinking I may want to try to do that again. Okay, so we got our little nose in, we got our muzzle in, and I think I may come back with a little bit more of that dark. So I'm kind of losing a little bit of this separation I had worked so hard to keep here. Well, I'm glad that you guys are watching, if you're watching. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my dark. I'm not wiping my knife off yet. I'm just tapping underneath his nose, or her nose. Maybe a girl, because I may put flowers up there on her. And I may just tap it. So I'm just tapping to make it kind of really dark right there, because it's really, I really want to stick that part out. Just tapping. Barely touching my palette, my plate here, or my board. And if you want to come back and make some, you know, really bold lines, now would be the time to do it, to really get that. They have this little separation in there, and maybe you want to make it this just a little bit stronger right here. The good thing about palette knife is if you don't like it and it's still wet, you can scrape it off. I'm kind of thinking I made it not dark enough on this side. Okay. So I don't want to play with it too much because I know what'll happen. I'll really get carried away. I want it to be more abstract than it is. Okay. So there's his little face. We got these little, sometimes alpacas have little, I don't know what you call them. They're little tufts that go underneath the eyelids per se, but they have like they're tired, you know, like they haven't been sleeping in a while. They have these little things that go under their eyes here. No offense to those of you that have them, alpacas. I love them. I wish I had some, especially since I'm doing wool. Okay, so the next thing, I don't know if you guys can see what we've got so far. Kind of looks like an alien right now. Okay, it'll come together. It's fine. Okay, you guys. So the next thing I'm going to do is really get some more white, and I'm just going to dip it into that almost like a peach color and some brown, but you don't necessarily need to copy everything that I'm doing. You can do your own colors. So I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to run it down like this. I'm just pulling it down because I want you to think that all that hair is going down this way, and it's not the muzzle. So we can make it round like the muzzle, but I want to pull it down and kind of make it fluffy. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't. But we start out a little bit dark, and on his little cheeks here, we're going to get a little whiter. So I'm pulling it down with this peachy kind of color. And there are different types of alpacas, just so you know. There's different types, and all their hair types are a little bit different. So there's not just one kind. There's different kinds and different hair and different markings and that kind of thing. So so your alpaca may be a different breed. I don't know. So I'm pulling in a little bit more of that white, because by the time I get out to the outside, I want to have more. I kind of made that muzzle a little smaller because it looked like he was a little bigger on that side. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to mix my colors too much. I'm just kind of putting a black here and there, whatever's on the top of my knife. It doesn't really matter. But I don't want to mix my colors too much. I just want to keep pulling it and pulling it and pulling it down to make his little cheeks down here. Okay? You see that? He's got cute little cheeks, and we're going to come out and pull it on this side with white. Now we want to do the same thing around his eye. We're going to kind of cover his eye, or her eye. I don't have enough paint on my knife there to go around his eye. Okay, so I'm going to start doing the same colors on the other side of his face. So the same thing, we're going to go and start aiming down. Some of these guys get spots. You can also, if you want, you can let that background come through if you want to do that too. You don't have to be so controlling that his background kind of has to stay away. You can make it, you know, be part of his background and his little eye and all the things that go with them. He's so cute. You can also think about where the sun's coming from if you want to do that. Otherwise, you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about light source and that kind of thing unless you really, really want to. It's up to you. So I'm coming down around his muzzle and I'm pulling it out. Make it look like he's got some fluffy cheeks, or she, whoever this is. Should I name it? Maybe I should think about a name, huh? Because they all have these little fluffy cheeks. I want to give them a kiss. Although if I told you guys, if you've ever worked with me, do not kiss these animals. I'm guilty of it. I kiss them. Oh my. I hope Kathy's not watching me because I used to tell her not to kiss things. Get stuff from them. Okay, so if you want to cut it, I'm having an issue with my knife getting too full here. Okay. So I'm just going to turn my knife a little bit, and so I just want to get a little bit around the eye, and then I'm going to pull it down and make little eyelashes kind of off that eye. Okay, and you can use your liner brush, which I may switch over to it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. Always lay your palette knife down and kind of get that. And I know I kind of want the eyebrows to be kind of over that eye. So that's kind of what I wanted. Let's see if I can do it over here. Kind of want to cut it straight. You know what I did? What was that? Something over there. I put my paint on the wrong side, didn't I? Why did I do that? I did. Put my paint on the wrong side of the... So some of these guys have really cute eyelashes that go out. They're super cute. Okay. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to come down and kind of scribble down here because I don't want it to be too covering. I just want to have that eye kind of come out like that. And then my little cut here, I need to make it a little bit more out like this. I have hair coming out. Okay, so I have hair coming out. I want to make sure I have that cut coming out so it has like these little eyelashes, and it's basically all you want to do. Let's make it come out a little bit more. I think my son's here. I can hear the car. Was supposed to go on a walk today, but after I was painting, I took the whole thing off the... I'm sorry I didn't let you guys see it. I was supposed to go on a walk today, and I went out and the car's missing. So he came in here to tell me he was going to borrow the car while I was on my other painting, and while I was painting I kind of ignored him, so it's kind of my fault, but I took my car. Couldn't go anywhere, so now I'm here painting with you guys, so it's a good thing. and so he may come in here. Okay, so we're getting to the point where we're going to start doing our top knot. I don't know, what do you guys think? You guys think it looks cute so far? Kind of llama-ish or alpaca-ish. Now I got that white paint, and I'm going to come back and put some more fluffies in here. So maybe turn your palette knife down and just start putting some white here and there, kind of like this. Cut it in there. I don't know, am I off screen? Oh, I'm off screen. Okay, so I like to kind of work real close to my head so I can see it, because I'm older now and it sucks and I can't see. I don't know how many of you have that problem, but man, it's hard to paint when you can't see. So the same thing on this side. I'm going to take it and we're going to do, let's see. I'm going to take it and I want to start cutting down. Ooh, I like the way it turned out on this side a little bit better. I like that kind of fluffy look on this side better. I'm going to take it and we're going to pull it down and make the same kind of, I don't know why I go to pick up my paint and I don't pick up any paint on the, I pick it up on the wrong side. That's what's going on. So I'm going to take it and make it fluffy. Okay, and we're going to see if I can outline that eye right there. Just kind of make it look like there's, you know, a little, what am I trying to say? Eyelid. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Okay, so kind of looks like a Chewbacca kind of thing, huh? Ooh, Chewbacca. All right, so we're going to go down. I'm going to keep pulling this down. Make it fluffy, because they have those cute little fluffy cheeks that I want to kiss. Okay, I got some black in there, and I want to make it kind of black on both sides. Okay. Do you see how the texture kind of gives it that, you know, it just makes you think it's there. That's kind of what I like about it too. It makes you think it's there. Okay, for the neck, you guys see that? For the neck, we're gonna go back to that dark that was up, and we're just gonna start laying in. So a lot of times these alpacas will have their necks and their bodies that get shaved, but a lot of times they don't touch their top knot too much. And I'm just touching a little bit of black and a little bit of brown and a little bit of white in my palette. I'm not mixing it. I'm just putting it on as it comes off my palette knife and getting it in there. So I'm just kind of making it look like there's a neck coming down, okay? And if you want to kind of make it a little bit more cool, you could bring it down here on the end. I don't know if you guys can see me do that. Can you see me do that on the end? So I'm coming it down here. So if you hang it on the wall, it kind of goes down. Okay. If you hang it on the wall. If anybody wants to hang this on the wall. So, what do you guys think so far? I mean, so far we got the ears, the cheeks, the neck coming down. So it looks like it's more light on this side, maybe. Okay, maybe I'll put some more, maybe I'll put some more highlights over here so it looks like we got the little cheeks and stuff coming out. I just love the way it mixes on this palette. It just makes me so happy that I don't even have to think about this half the time. It just kind of does it by itself. It mixes. I'm alternating between brown and white, and I'm just going with whatever it gives me. Not thinking about it, I'm just doing it. Okay, so I'm not thinking about it, I'm just pulling up colors. When I go and get my colors, I'm just pulling up white right now And since it's still a little wet, it's kind of mixing a little bit with that brown. And I'm not going to worry about it. It looks really good. So I don't need to worry about how I'm going to, you know, put my highlights in. It's doing it by itself. So sometimes these guys have little fluffy eyes. Anyway, where your light's coming from is where you want to do some more highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and do some highlights over here a little bit. And speaking of alpacas, I'm going to be going and helping them shear their alpacas pretty soon. So I have a thing with the alpaca farm out here that I will help them when they shear. And in exchange, I get to pick some fleece out. Eventually I may come home with an alpaca. I have this feeling because I just can't resist. They're so darn cute. Always wanted to have one. Because I wanted to have a miniature horse too. But I have to do one thing at a time. Okay, so I'm just pulling, you know, like they have little eyelashes over their eyes. And they have these little things that come around here. Their eye. There we go. On their eye. And so I'm going to pull this out just a bit. Just like that. Okay, just so we know that there's little things coming out here. Okay, same with this one. We know that there's little hairs that kind of sit in front of their eye. So don't be afraid to do that kind of stuff. Cut it, go ahead and just kind of play with what you got here. Now I may come back and do a little tiny bit around here, around the muzzle, because it's not quite light enough to where I want it to really show that feature, but it's still wet enough to where I can scrape it. Okay, so if I was real picky, I may come back and do this. Little tiny lines. Which I'm usually not that picky. I'm usually not this picky, but I am. I am picky today. I'm picky today. Okay, sorry. Picky today about it. So I think when you look at it, I'd like you to go, oh, look at that. It's an alpaca. And not, what the hell is that? You know, I want you to be able to say that it's an alpaca. Okay. If you know the difference between an alpaca and a llama. Okay, alpacas are a little smaller. I'm just going to put that curl in here a little bit so you can see its little nose. His. And I kind of didn't get that quite in there right. Well, maybe it's not that it's not right. Maybe it's just because I didn't like it the way it was. Not that it's not right. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Oh, there's my kid. I'm on a live. So do you want to say hi? Yeah. So what's going on?
I'm leaving.
And where are you going?
Town. How long should I be out?
What's tonight? Monday. Let's make it 10.
Okay.
Do you have homework done?
Yeah. No homework.
No homework. Okay. All right.
See you later.
Okay. All right. So that was kid 2 or kid 1, who's 17, so he gets to go out a little longer. And Anna is just still young, so needs to come home pretty soon. She spent the night at someone's house, or she'd probably be in here wanting to do the alpaca. Okay, so we got that part. We got the hair coming over here, right? We got this going on. It looks really nice. It looks really abstract. And here, I'm going to put some hair down here in white. I don't know if you guys can see it too well. Kind of looks like a monkey, but it's not. It's not, believe me, it's not. I hope it doesn't keep looking like a monkey, because I want it to be an alpaca when you look at it. Really, an alpaca. So not a monkey. All right. So, let's see, it's a here. It's a little bit off, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to mix some colors because this top knot is a little crazy on this one. And we're going to put in some floofy. Okay, so I'm going to get more white. I'm going to wipe my brush off here. And I may come back later and kind of fix this part up because I just don't like the muzzle too much. All right, so where did I put the white? Oh, that's one thing I always lose, don't I? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got white. And we got that fluffy cream color, and we got some brown. So we're going to make that top knot. You don't need a whole lot of colors for this project, with the exception of the background here was done with leftover paint from the last project. And the sketch was done with watercolor pencil. So this watercolor pencil, even though you can see the lines, it'll just wipe off and or get absorbed when you're painting. You can wipe it off later, which I like about it. It's not, you know, pencil doesn't necessarily come off. So I'm taking that beige color and I'm kind of mixing it a little bit with my brown and white, but I'm not mixing it completely, okay, because I really want to get this. Let's see how I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to pull. Oh, it needs to be a lot lighter than that. Okay, so I'm going to pull it and make it a lot lighter. Because this top knot is like really light compared. It's not really dark. So there we go. So all I'm doing is pulling it. And you see how that texture is just in there like that? That's what I wanted. I wanted that texture, and you can alternate between that light and the dark. And kind of just keep going around and playing with that texture. You can even add a little black in there if you wanted to. So I think we're gonna go crazy in the middle here, I think. Because he is just like this. This alpaca has just got it going on the top knot here. And I don't know if you've seen them like this, if you've noticed, if you're looking at top knots, but they can be pretty crazy. So I really enjoy doing a lot of these crazy because they are just so fun to paint. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys try it. I mean, I really do wish you guys would try it. And I have someone else coming in. No. I don't think he closed the door all the way. I may have to go close the door. My paint's starting to dry, so I'm going to have to get something. I'm going to wipe my brush off and start this. Yeah, it's starting to dry. Okay. So I'm going to keep working on it. I hope you guys are enjoying this. At least I hope you are. I guess if you're on my site, I guess you are kind of. So when they start to want to spit, so people have asked me that too. What they'll do is, if you want to know if you're around one and he's starting to look like he's going to spit, they will put their ears back and they'll make a grinding noise and they'll start like getting their cud. That's what they're spitting at you, is their cud, which is disgusting. Okay, it is gross. But you'll know. You'll know when they start doing that they're going to go spit at you. So if their ears are forward and they're coming at you, no spit. If their ears are back and they're chewing their cud, watch out. They may spit. Just so you know. Good to know, huh? All right, we're getting there. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I was trying to get through this a little faster than we are. But it is what it is. I really wanted to get his little top knot done. This is the color that it is. So I probably could embellish it a little bit more, make it browner. So let me get, oh, I'm gonna get some more brown. Oh no, going on, I'm itchy. Okay, here's my brown. There we go. Now the middle is like all crazy. This middle is just all crazy, going in different directions, and he is just funky, or she, or whatever it is. Kind of cool. Now, if you make a boo-boo and you go over the eye, let's say, per se, and you want to take that off or whatever, try to get it off or just leave it. If you can't get it off and you think you're going to make it worse, just leave it and go over it when it's dry. The worst thing you can do is mess with it and keep messing with it, and it won't look, it will start not looking good. So don't get upset if that happens. It's okay. It happens to everybody. It happens to me a lot. I want to make it fix. I want to fix it right away too. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't get fixed. So don't worry about if it happens to you. Just let it dry and paint over it again. Okay? This is the fun part. This is supposed to be a fun thing, a fun project for you. It's a little bit harder than what I've done before, but that's okay. I know you guys can do it. And I know you guys can make it a lot better than what I'm making here. So don't worry about whatever. Don't worry about it, okay? I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. A little bit. I'm so tempted to fix that, but I know for my own self that it will. Wait till it dries, Jen. Okay, so start going up to the top. And go up here. Then we'll finish the ears. My paint's starting to dry. So I'm trying to get it done before it dries completely. And we'll put some more hair behind the eyes and stuff. Oh, it's just a big clump drying up there. And remember to alternate the darks with the lights. And you will get some good shades, and you'll get some kind of cool mixes in there. And you won't have to worry about coming back and putting highlights or shades in there. You'll already have it. Which I may still come back in, because I didn't listen to myself, and I didn't, there we go. I didn't put some whites in there like I was supposed to. Alright, so we're going to put some more highlights over here and along the top. Yeah, I need to wipe this off. This stuff is drying on my, it's dried on my knife right back there. And, did I grab, yeah I did. Let's make this go to this one. Oh, I put it down and grabbed the wrong one. Well, it's not wrong. It's just I had another one I was using and had paint on it, and I picked up another one that was right there, and I didn't even notice it that I moved. Okay. Yeah, I think he didn't close my door all the way, so now it's banging. Okay, so all I'm doing is getting back into that white with a little bit of black, and I'm not mixing the colors. I'm just putting a couple little highlights on the outside here to kind of follow through. And who's that? Get out of there. Okay. Sometimes they have hair coming down kind of over their eyes a little bit. So you can put some of those in there too if you want to make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, for the ears. Gosh, I went through that white already. So I'm just going to go through here and just put some hairs kind of in here. My white is just, it's drying like fast, so just going to put a little bit of hairs in those ears and maybe even come out a little bit. You know, like really hairy ears. And they do have little cute fluffy ears. Okay, that's it. I got to get some more white. And we'll do the we'll finish off with the detail brush. And there's a couple spots that I would like to fix up, and that's let's see. Let's make that a little bit. Ooh, my paint is drying. Okay, let's do that on the other side. There we go. It's drying awful fast. Sorry about that, but it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back up here. And let's see. I want to put some light out. I'm going to do some here. Some of the commercials out here are so cute. Like, you never hear those out in California. Okay, so I'm putting some hair in there if I can. I'm trying to get my brush to hit there, my knife to hit there because it's drying so fast. Okay, so I'm going to put some more little highlights in here around the top. Okay, let's put some in here. trying to make it fluffy out both sides. Fluffier. A lot of times these guys have these long eyebrows and eyelashes that's really cute that kind of stick way out past their eyes and their cheeks. There's these rogue hairs once in a while, and that makes them kind of really cute looking too. Okay, so I got white, and all I'm doing is just coming and putting some hairs here and there, kind of give it some interest in the middle, just to kind of make it interesting in this middle, because usually people's eyes will go right towards that middle of that painting eventually, you know, and you want to make it kind of interesting for them to look at too. And if you think there's too much of your background showing through, then go ahead and definitely play with it a little bit more to get some more hair in there, and work it a little bit, but not too much, okay? Just so you know, you work it too much and you're going to lose that, all that stuff you worked for right here. You're going to lose all of it. Okay. So we got our cute little abstract alpaca. And they do kind of look like Chewbacca's. They do kind of look like that. They really do. In real life. And in abstract paintings like this. So he's really abstract. I mean, he's really not real looking. It's okay. We really want him to be abstract. Okay. So now that we have our little abstract llama, we're gonna do the eyes. So let's wipe our stuff off. And anywhere else you want to put little tiny details on, now would be a good time to think about what you wanted that to look like. And I'm gonna need some more white. So I'll be right back. I'm glad you guys are watching this. Please watch it and consider doing it yourself, okay? I'm going to close this because I think my door's broken. So I don't have any wine out here, which I wish I did, but I have iced tea. I gotta get some iced tea before my voice goes out. Okay, so sometimes it's good to step away and kind of look and see what's going on with your paintings. And I noticed that I just need to add a little bit over here. And a little bit over here. I mean, it's not my best llama, but it is. Or alpaca. It is what it is. Right? Okay, there she is. Now, let's do the eyes. So the eyes are basically really dark brown, which I've already done. I'm just going to tip into that white. And I'm just going to go in and we are going to do like a dot. Kind of long, and then a dot, okay? And then if you want to, you can go along and just really, not really a whole line, but really put a little tiny bit of an outline on the bottom of their eye. Some of these alpacas have these really fine eyelashes on their eyes that are white. I don't have to capture that here, but kind of looks cool. Okay, get a little personality. Now, if you want to touch anything up with your detail brush, now would be the time to do it. Which I may kind of touch this up because I keep losing the other side of my llama nose, or alpaca nose. I keep calling it a llama. I don't really have, yeah. I kind of lost my stuff over here on this side, didn't I? And I don't want to mess with it too much because then I'll be unhappy with it. There we go. Okay. And sometimes you just put little dots down here to kind of show a separation of the mouth down here. Okay, like that. Go up here and kind of outline that with little dots. The chin has the same thing. We have little dots here. I don't put the dots like all the way around. I just kind of do them here and there just to kind of show, you know, not even a good dot. I just kind of show where it separates. Okay. And maybe put some down into the eye there. Maybe make it so it looks, because that's kind of what happens anyway, is they have that fluffy little eye thing going on. Okay, so what do you guys think so far? I think you guys could do this. If you wanted a little harder project to do, a little springy, a little harder. It has a springy background to it. Okay. And I think I may want to make this a little more wild up here, because I just think my little llama needs some more curl or something, because it's just not quite wild enough. So all I'm doing is just taking it and kind of making little squiggles here and there. Okay. And the ones that I see have definitely have much wilder hair than this. I mean, it's just like so cool. It's all over the place. So not all palette knife painting has to completely all be palette knives. So you guys know that. There's no rules, really. It's really fun no matter what you do. Have fun. Okay. Now, I was thinking I would put some flowers in here. I think I should put flowers in here, or should I just leave it like this? Kind of wonky looking llama. Isn't it cute though? Should I put flowers in her hair? I'm kind of deciding if I want to go ahead and put flowers or not, or if I just want to leave it like this. Maybe flowers here, maybe along here, or up here. I don't know. Or do I want to leave it like that? I'm thinking I put flowers in there. Maybe. It's not my best llama. Alpaca. Okay, well, what do you guys think so far? Interesting? All right, maybe I will put some flowers, maybe here, maybe around, or maybe just leave it like that. I don't know. No, I was going to do flowers, but I just don't know if I want to do that now. Well, what do you guys think? Should I leave it like this? Should I leave it? Or should I put flowers in it? I don't know. You know, it just needs something. I'm thinking flowers. Maybe flowers. The eyes look kind of funky. Could do flowers. Flowers. Flowers it is. All right. So let's do some flowers. All right. What do we got? We got some, maybe some orange, or we want pink. Do we have any purple? Not blue. I don't know if I want blue. Maybe purple. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Maybe it's a spring alpaca. I don't know. Whatever it is. All right. Where should I stick a flower? Here? Or should I put some flowers? No, it's going to have to wait till it dries if I put flowers in her hair. Maybe I'll put flowers below and maybe one on top. Maybe up here when it's dry. Yeah, maybe I'll put some below. Let's see what it looks like. See what it looks like. I'll put a blob here and make a flower. Big blob. Let's see what I got here. And I'm just doing circles. I did this before. I was showing how to do this. And maybe I'll just do, maybe I'll do a little flower here. I really should wait till it's dry to do the flowers. Yeah, maybe I'll just keep continuing to do flowers. Okay. So I'm going to wipe my palette knife off, and I'm going to go back into the white and finish my flowers. Sorry it's taking so long. And I'm just going to go back over those flowers real simply like that. And I'm not doing any mixing. I'm just going back into white and letting it mix by itself. And putting in your own little scribbles. Okay, I'm just doing little scribbles and making it look like there's little patterns of leaves and stuff, and that's it. Okay, so these are not hard. These are just like little fantasy flowers I've been showing you guys on multiple different pages how to do. It's not that hard to do those, okay? So you can do that. Make little round flowers. Yeah, maybe I will stick one up in her hair. I really like her hair. My power's running out on my phone. Well, I'm going to have to say bye to my live people because my power is going out, and that's just it. Let's see. It's not going to let me. So I'll take a picture when I'm done. I'm just doing the round flowers and putting flowers everywhere on this. Hope you guys like your, your funky alpaca palette knife painting. I look forward to seeing what you guys are doing. Thanks for watching. Bye. So you guys know on my video here that my feed stopped. So my feed, actually my feed didn't stop. It was my phone. My phone died. And I'm out in the barn, so I can't exactly go get it charged. So what I'm doing is I'm putting some flowers into the alpaca's hair. I'm making it kind of a spring alpaca. I'm just doing kind of funky flowers. I think I may put a big one up here. What do you think? Really like the way the flowers are below there. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. Or maybe I'll do a big flower up on top. I don't know. Think I should just go for it. Or maybe put flowers below there. Maybe I'll put one up here. I'm just going to go for it. I've seen some other artists do it, so, and it looked okay, so I figured I'd try and see what it, you know, maybe it comes out cute. I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys like it. If you don't have to do the flowers. I mean, you really don't have to. You can do whatever you want to. So all I did was just kind of scribble around with my palette knife, and now I'm adding white. That's it. So if you want to add, if you want to be more detailed than that, go ahead and be detailed, but I'm just doing a quick go around like this. That's all I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put some more colors on my plate and go keep working. So there's one set of flowers. I'm going to do some more. I have a really, really bright colored pink, but I think I'm going to use this teal next because I really like it. I'm obsessed with this. It's like a Caribbean teal or something. Yeah. You know what? You guys forgive me for a second. I'm going to plug my phone in just because if I have an emergency, I want to make sure I have my phone charged. I'll be right back. Well, my phone really just decided it was going to die. It's dead. That's weird. It's a pretty new phone, so I'm kind of surprised it's like that. All right, so I'm going to do another flower here. Oh my gosh, I love that teal color. I may have a problem with this color. I may have to get my bedroom like colored this. Okay, so go down on the edges. I go down on the edges with a lot of this stuff just to kind of let it follow through, so you think that, you know, it's congruent with whatever's going on. On the top part of the painting, I kind of let it go down. I'm going to put maybe a bigger flower right here. I'm just going to go for it. I didn't know if I wanted flowers up there, but since I'm already doing it, it kind of looks cool. Oops, I don't know why I just painted my hand, but I did. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Okay, we got that little blue in there, which is pretty. Okay. Man, I love that teal. Yeah, I just don't know. Just love it. I may follow through with this side, just like that. Okay, now I'll just dip into white. I'm not really wiping my palette knife off. I'm just going around in circles, kind of getting some really cool colors mixed in there. sometimes the faster you go, the better with these flowers. They're fantasy kind of flowers. Looks better. And I like it when they mix a little bit. I like it when these colors kind of, like you add a little bit of each color to it, and it just gives it that extra little spunk, extra little touch. This kind of looks abstract, which I really like. Okay, now I'm going to add some red, or maybe just a red. Give a red over here. So, I'm sorry my phone died, but it is what it is, right? It happens. So try to do odd numbers if you can. If you can do odd numbers, that would be great with your palette knife paintings and whatever paintings you're doing. If you're doing, you know, items in your painting, try to do odd numbers. It kind of attracts the eye a little bit more, whether you believe that or not, but it really does subconsciously. Your mind wants to look at it. So so yeah, try to think about, I'm doing the edges too on these little guys. Okay, I'll do a little one up here. Make it go off kind of make it look like it's still going off of the board. Okay. Maybe a little one in the corner over here. Kind of getting obsessed, huh? That's okay. I like my little flowers. I like the craziness of it. Makes me happy. As long as I don't smear it too much, right? So I may put a big one up here. Maybe a bigger one kind of going up. I don't know where I got that hair. I know I have hair everywhere, but I don't know exactly where I got that hair. Okay, I'm going to get in that white. Continue to get in the white. You can definitely see it's going to be fun. I love to add those, like I said, I like to go back and kind of add a little bit of color from the next flower over to kind of give it a little bit more interest. It's not just red and it's not just white, but it's got other colors kind of mixing into it. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives it a little more interest. So when you're looking around this picture, you can kind of see different colors and interests for it. Anyway, I don't know how to explain it, but that's just what it does. Okay, so let's go up and finish the look here. I'm going to put a little more white in there. All right. So if you want to take your painting and continue on adding colors and stuff like that, that's up to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and wipe it off. And I'm going to get the end of my paintbrush here. And I am just going to dab some black. I'm just going to do a couple dots of black in the middle, just to kind of get your attention to go into that center. Okay. Right. All right, so we got some funkiness going on with the black. Now I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and get some green, maybe some metallics, and we're really going to spice up this for spring. Okay, so I'm just going to put some metallic green on my palette, and we're going to mix it with, I thought I had some yellow out, but I don't. Oh yeah, I do have a little bit of yellow, just a tiny bit of yellow, and we're going to make some leaves. Just a bit, just a tiny bit of leaves. Come on now. All right. So I'm going to take our palette knife and we're going to cut right into that yellow and that metallic green. We're just going to make some little lines to suggest that we have some leaves coming up, or branches, or whatever you want to call it. Grass, stems. Stems. There we go. I couldn't talk. You know what I mean, right? I hope. So we got some stems coming up here. Got some stems coming up here. Wherever you want your stems, put your stems in. Okay. Doesn't matter. Now some of these we'll put leaves on, and some of these we won't put leaves on. It just depends on what, you know, I like. I'm going to run them down the side here just to kind of let your mind or their mind kind of go off on the side here. Okay. Alright, so we got some leaves coming from the side. We got some, and if you don't really want to make these leaves and you're kind of scared, just tap your palette knife. Watch, just do that, and you'll have a leaf, you know, a stem there. Sorry, not a leaf per se, but a stem. Okay, and you're a little bit timid to do that. That's okay. You don't have to put the stems in. You don't even have to do. You can just touch it down. But you don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I mean, it's all up to you what you feel comfortable doing. Okay, and here is another thing where the more you mix, the worse it gets. So just kind of tap it on and kind of let it go. It's going to be what it is. I mean, we're just doing, this is kind of a fantasy thing anyway. Okay, so we got some maybe stems off here. I guess I would ask my alpaca, what is she doing in my flower garden? Eating it, probably, huh? Okay, so we got our stems in. We got a couple on top, which is cute. Okay, so I'm going to wipe my palette knife off. Okay, so if you want to use your palette knife to put little leaves on there, you can. Otherwise, I have my little detail brush. I'm just going to touch a little bit in the green and a little bit in the yellow. And all I'm going to do is kind of touch. Let's do a spot here. Touch, touch, touch on either side of your plant. Okay, so you can make some leaves. All I'm doing is touching I'm just really lightly touching, okay? I'm going to make some leaves on this plant all the way down. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Now you don't have to do that. You can just leave it alone and have your stems sticking out. And you can definitely put them in little areas where it kind of looks like there's, you know, it's going down into your flowers down there. So all I'm doing is just touch, touch, touch. I'm just touching, going back down into this kind of, you know, area down there. So just keep continuing doing that. You can even do it on the side. You want to have some on the side, but just touch all the way down. Excuse me. Okay, so touch up here. So I touch up here and kind of touch, touch. We're just kind of make-believing that, I mean, it looks like a stem, but we're just kind of going along with it, and it doesn't really matter, you know, if it's a real thing or not. I'm just touching the sides, kind of touching down here, and then I'm going to go down and make my leaves down here. Okay, make it look like it's going off down there. We're going to keep adding little details. Okay, and you can kind of bring them up here, you know, so it looks like it's trailing off. Make it kind of dots over here, so we're gonna have this guy kind of trailing off too. Maybe touching up here, kind of going into the where the alpaca is, or the yeah, the alpaca is. All right, so we're gonna go off down here. Maybe start doing him up here. I'm gonna go up and kind of trail off into there. Kind of cute little grass that it's in, and okay. Get some details back down in here again. Okay, you don't want to lose the integrity of your little dots. You want to make sure you get those dots nice and clear. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. Make sure I don't smudge them. We're going to do the same thing up on top. So we get this kind of, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go up here. We're going to do dot, 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 dot. Okay, so we're kind of going off of the alpaca's head right here. It's going to go do the same thing over here. Following along. Okay, I'm going to put some dots in here. Okay, maybe some up here. Let's get some more paint on there. Some up here. Okay, so now we're going to do is we're going to switch over to gold, and we're going to do some highlights in gold. And then we're going to be almost done, because I'm going to do some stuff around the outside that kind of gives it a little more interest. Okay. All right, so let me find some gold paints. My favorite in the whole entire world is gold or bronze. And then I have got to be done, because I'm going to have to go in the house pretty soon. Because it's getting dark, and I don't like being out here too late. I wish some of you were closer. I'd love for you to come over and just paint with me. That would be so cool, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and put some, I got metallic gold on the end of my brush right here, and I'm just going to dot the center of my flowers with that metallic gold. Okay. Okay. And if those of you that have been in my classes before, this is really the highlight of your whole painting, is when you get to kind of pull it together and see, you know, what you can do with your little abstract fun paintings with these cool, easy flowers that you didn't think you could do or pull off. And I just enjoy watching everybody get these pulled together, and just the look on their face when they can do this is so cool. Even the kids can do this, so I know you can. So I'm just going to put a couple little clusters of gold kind of around here and there, because you know, in a lot of these flowers they do have some little pretty little gold details. And I had one lady that did these, and she did red dots, and they look so cool. I mean, it was like really cool looking. So I know you can do whatever you want. Experiment with it and go for it. I had a kid that went and put dots all over his painting, and it looks so cool at the end. He did such a good job. And I didn't know if it was going to come together, but he made it come together, and I was so proud of him, and he was so proud of himself because his painting came out really nice. So I know you can do this. I know you can. If I have kids do this, you guys can do this, okay? So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and share. I am trying to build my little business here, and I'm trying to get more reach with people. My in-person classes are doing very well. I just my online presence needs to be picked up, and I think you guys would enjoy some more stuff like this, of me showing you all the ins and outs of doing it, the whole painting, with me just doing it, and that way you guys could pause it, go through it, and try to get, you know, your style down. But what do you think so far? I mean, I think it came out really, really cute. I think I may do an outline like I normally do with this. So, yeah, I don't know. Do I want to do an outline with it? Do I want to do like a darker outline or a light outline, or what do I want to do? I usually do a bronze, but maybe I'll do a gold. I like to kind of antique it too, and I don't have enough antique gold there. There I do. Okay, let's see what I can do with this painting. And then I will call it a day. I've been painting for a long time today, and I'm thinking I may need to go inside and take a break for a little bit. But so I'm just taking my palette knife, and I'm just, see how I'm just rubbing it, just kind of rubbing it and scraping it, rubbing it and scraping it, kind of giving it a little bit of a, you know, antique-y kind of look. And you can just kind of go in and, you know, some more on some spots and less on others. And if you don't want to hit your painting down here, I would try to avoid it. You know, kind of give it a little bit of a chance to, you can even scrape around the edges here if you wanted to. Kind of give it a little bit of a edge here if you wanted. And I really don't mind if it hits those other colors and kind of spreads the love a little bit. I don't mind. It kind of looks cool at the edges, or sides of the paintings are kind of abstract-y too. I like it. And I hope people like it too. I mean, I'm sure they may. I don't know. But I sure like it. And again, paint for you. Try not to paint, unless you're doing commission painting, try to paint for yourself. Make yourself happy by painting something you like. And don't worry about what other people think. I used to worry about my family. They're very hard. Sometimes they were very hard on my, especially my husband. He does not like critiquing me very well. He thinks all my paintings are kind of bad. So I hope you guys don't necessarily feel like you need to share your successes or anything with your family, because a lot of times they don't understand, and you're painting it for you, not them. So think about that. Try not to judge yourself too harshly with that in mind. I'm going to keep this nice level outline here, and just keep on going. I'm just kind of going in and out, kind of letting it do what it's going to do, and then hit a little black, and that's okay. And if you want to make it look like that on the other side, you can take your black and mix it in over here. It doesn't really matter. So we got that going. I'm kind of letting that kind of trail. So I'm taking it and I'm just kind of pulling it across a little bit to kind of give it a little more of an outline. So if you want to, you can do it this way too. And kind of just pull it wherever you want to pull it. I don't know where I'm hitting that black, but I am. I think she said chance of snow, but I'm ignoring that because it's 70 degrees today. It can't possibly be chance of snow. Well, it probably is here. One day it's snowy and one day it's 80. You just never know. Living in California my whole life, we would freak out if we got any snow. They're getting snow now, huh? Oh yeah, wild weather. Stuff that needs to be here is there, huh? And stuff that needs to be there is here. So it's 70 degrees here today. There it says snow in places I lived before. It's interesting. That never got snow. So, it is what it is, right? You just never can tell. Alright, so we got our abstract, fun little llama painting, our alpaca painting. I'm just going to run this back up here, kind of get this more in my, make it a little crazy. Make it a little crazy in the edges over here. Just kind of go along and do whatever you want to do. Make it look all funky. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys try this. Be funky, be daring, be different, but try something, okay? And I hope you guys have a good day and enjoyed your funky alpaca painting. Thanks for watching. Bye.